Hello, my name is Victoria Yampolsky, and I run the Startup Station. In this video, I'm going to talk about the top 3 things you should focus on when you're starting your company. And I have to disappoint everybody. Okay, none of them is creating your product. None of them is hiring a mobile development company or asking your programmers friends to start implementing something, or if you're programmers yourself, starting spending nights and weekends working on something. Okay? No, you should not be doing that. Step number 1 is to understand whether the idea that you have is a good one. Okay, and there's 3 parts to that step. Now, it's awesome that you have an idea. Okay, if we didn't have ideas, we would not invent great things. However, not all of ideas are meant to become businesses. And so the first thing you should do is to evaluate if there is a big enough market for your idea, if there is a big enough demand for the solution that you're trying to create. How do you do that? By conducting market research. When you conduct market research, you learn more about your customers, their pain points. You understand what's happening with the industry overall. Is it growing? Is it contracting? You understand if it's concentrated or not. And you also learn about barriers to entry. So if you have an idea, which is an unbelievable idea, but the market is too small, it's not worth for you to develop this idea further. If you have an idea, but the barriers to entry are too high, you may not want to do it because you may not have access to enough capital to put this idea into practice. If you have the best idea ever, but it's in the industry that's dominated by 1 or 2 or 3 very large and powerful companies, you can't take them on as a little startup. Then it may be very difficult to build a startup in this space and to be successful. And then maybe you shouldn't do it. Okay? So if you don't meet any of these 3 scenarios that I've mentioned, if you have an idea in a growing market with the barriers to entry that you can overcome, in an industry that is not dominated by 1, 2, or 3 big players, completely dominated, then you're good to go. You can go to part number 2, which is to really formulate your value proposition. And so in the first part, you have validated that your customers have a problem that they need to solve and that that problem is big, meaning that many customers need this problem to be solved. Okay? Now in step number 2, you have your awesome solution to this problem. Okay? And the solution may be changed based on the information that you have found out about your customers in step number 1. Right? And also to make the most use of whatever idea that you have. The more customer-centric your solution is, the better off you are as a rule of thumb. And finally, number 3, market positioning. Now, if there are a lot of customers with a certain problem, you can be sure somebody else is already trying to solve it. Maybe they're not doing it well. Maybe they're doing it too expensively, but they're still doing it. And these companies are your competitors. So you should do competitive analysis and to figure out how your solution compares with other solutions on the market, adjust it as necessary, and figure out where it fits in. Is that a value product? Is that a middle of the road product? Is that a premium product? How do you want to position your company in a competition spectrum? After you do all of that, you will then be ready To start thinking about the features of your solution, think about attracting your team members in corporation and making your company into a reality. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you for watching. For more information, please go to www.thestartupstation.com. And please leave your comments below. Share your video with your friends and colleagues. Bye-bye. See you next time.